Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. It's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Friday, February 28th, 2025, last day of February, out of the matrix into prime reality. Today, a little earlier, a little shorter, a little sweeter. Let me just make sure we're good on the audio settings here. Sounds wonderful. Thank you all for joining us on X, Rumble, and YouTube, and for being here with us. Over the years, and that's many years now, close to between 15 and 20 years of public speaking, I've had quite a few people recently, again, and over the years, I've had quite a few people stick their finger in my face, in my chest, calling me names, calling me irresponsible, calling me ignorant, calling me crazy, calling me a nut job. And often they ask me, what if you're wrong? You're so certain that, these conspiracies are going on behind the scenes and that, everything is connected. You're so certain about what you say, but what if you're wrong? Have you ever considered what if you're wrong? And not too long ago, I was invited on a show as a guest, and part of that show was a young lady. I don't know, she must have been somewhere between 23, 25, I guess. And she was heavily invested in in sort of the white hat Q Jasara thing. And I vaguely remember the same question coming back: what if you're wrong? What if you're taking hope away from people? And so yesterday, I was on a walkout and I asked myself, I said, what if I was wrong about everything? And I'm just going to put this out there. What if I truly was wrong about everything? What if everything that, we have uncovered, the dots that we've connected, let's just say I was completely wrong? What was my conclusion? And I can go back as far as I've been speaking publicly. When people ask, what do you think is the solution? What do you think people should be doing? My answer has consistently been exactly the same. As a human being, as spirit, as, all of our elements, body, mind, spirit, we need to heal. We need to recognize that we are, generally speaking, traumatized to varying degrees. We need to heal. We need to become whole on all levels. We need to become the best possible version of ourselves, which happens through healing and, let's just say, unlearning certain things that I believe to be wrong. We need to take responsibility for our own lives, for our physical, spiritual, and mental well-being, right? I think we need to become fully responsible for all areas of our lives, including our needs, right? We need to work towards self-sufficiency, become more engaged with each other, love ourselves, love our neighbor, love our community, explore the truth together, grow our own food, make sure that we can meet our own needs. In other words, become sovereign, become free, from the constraints and dependencies of the world as good as we can. Question, challenge. I never said go make war, go fight, go, do something violent, ever. Go back as far as you want to. I've never said that. So even if I was wrong about absolutely everything about the global, interconnected, behind the scenes, astral dimension conspiracies, the simulation, the matrix, the new world, you know what, and all of that, wrong about Trump and Musk and Q, and let's just say I was completely wrong. Periodically, we get emails by people who have been with us for a while, who've been part of the Inspired family, Inspired tribe, who've been watching and listening. And those emails fill our hearts because some of them, and not, it's not even few, are saying, It was something you all said 2 or 3 years ago. It was something you said that really helped me flip a switch. And so, I started changing things. I got a little piece of land. It's my third year with the garden. I have a little homestead, a little cabin, whatever. I feel more connected. I'm not in the craziness anymore, or I've done the deep trauma healing, sessions, the journey sessions, or family constellation, whatever. And I'm thinking, that's the most beautiful thing I could possibly read or hear. That people, and if something we said or did has helped contribute to that, that's wonderful. I'm glad that people step into their own power and say, okay, life might have been hard. My journey might have been challenging. Things might have been done to me that are unjust, that are cruel. I get that. A lot of people had those experiences throughout their lives. But even though I experienced all of this, even though I've experienced a challenging life, I now assume full, unconditional responsibility for my healing and for becoming the best possible version of me that I can be, for doing what I can with what I have where I am. That's all. That is all. Nothing else was ever our message. And then, I every now and then, especially during the last 5 years, new solutions, quote unquote, have come up to the same challenges and problems that we've been facing as a human family. In other words, a whole new movement was birthed that kind of acknowledges that there's a lot of darkness, there's a interwoven conspiracy subduing the human race. And those folks put out a lot of good information, not all, but a lot of good information. But their solution was trust a group of people we've never heard of, or we don't really know who they are behind the scenes. We just know some public faces, but there's much more going on. Trust that there is a Nasara Jasara thing coming. Trust that there will be a dead jubilee. Trust that they're going to fix things. A lot of people have actually listened and made some really, really questionable choices because of it. Some that are destructive, some financially destructive, because they believed it's all going to be taken care of. They believe that there's going to be the Nasara Jasara rollout and they're going to get a lot of money. There'll be a dead jubilee, all of that. And a lot of those folks have not taken any steps toward more personal responsibility, not taken any steps to sovereignize themselves, at least on one level, even if it's just emotional, psychological, highly important. So I asked myself yesterday, what are the consequences of me being wrong? Okay, so like I said, the worst possible scenario, and that's not a worst scenario, but just from the perspective of me being wrong, is that these things are all true. That there's the savior group, humanity's going to be liberated, and everything's going to get fixed, and folks are going to get a shit ton of money, whatever. Now, where was the injury to those who have sovereignized their lives and can either say yay or nay, I want to participate? Where's the problem if people are more empowered, if people are more inspired, if they're, more of what they can be? Where's the problem in people not being dependent on the grocery store or on the centralized structures for the most immediate needs? Where is the problem with that? On the flip side, what if and I'm not just saying what if we, as a fairly small group within this community, are right? Generally speaking, not on all the details, not on all the fine print, but generally speaking, what if we are right? What if our intuition, our research, and the connecting of dots and the evidence, the way that we put it together, is true? And the folks that have been banking on the savior group, that have been hoping and dreaming and addicted to the hopium, will end up in a situation where they don't have any choice anymore because they didn't take those steps, because they didn't think about how they could improve their own lives on a significant level, because they were constantly going from one date and 1 month and one scenario and prediction and hopium to another. The truth of all of this is that all the external information that we are putting together, the quote unquote rabbit holes, it's not a self-serving thing. It's not a thing that in and of itself has great significance. What is significant is what are we doing with the information that we find and what can it inspire us to do? In my life, for me, I always had to know. I had to understand or comprehend, better yet, what something is or was and how it functions, how it affects me, what the nuts and bolts of it are, because then I always felt I could make much better decisions. So I might have been wrong. And maybe in the grand scheme of things, there will be a great turning, a big revelation, a plot twist, so to speak, at the very end. You know how those movies are where they're created in a way where you think you got to figure it out, but at the very end there's a plot twist, and you go, "Wow, I did not see that one coming." Okay, so be it. Chances are that you, me, and while this plot twist might happen, we go, "Okay, that's cool. I was wrong on that, but I'm gonna go out and check on the chickens." We're having our neighbors over. They're bringing their fruits and their veggies over. We're gonna sit together at the bonfire tonight. We're gonna watch the stars and sing songs and listen to the crickets. And no matter what these city folks decide next, we're pretty good here. We have a good community. We're friendly. We're strong. We're loving with each other. And ultimately, my friends, all this leads to love. True love for who you are and what you are. True love for the creator of all things, not the creator, not the God of this world, the dedicated entity that rules over this world, but the creator of all that is. True love, unconditional love, love for creation and each other, love for co creation. That's where this is supposed to lead to, not an endless cycle of waiting and nail biting and hoping. That's not what this was ever about. So this is my message for today, short and sweet. Like I said, i'm I might be wrong on some of those details, but what I know that I'm not wrong about and we're not wrong about is we have empowered ourselves. All of this, all of what we have observed in the world has caused us to go deep within and continues to do that and transform our world, our own little world from within. Our lives are exponentially better than they were years and years ago because of it. We're in a healthier place. We feel whole and we're continuing on this journey. We're much more sovereign than we were 10 years ago, and we continue on this journey. We have a community of beautiful people, wonderful people, some in front of the scenes, some behind the scenes. This is what this is all about. So our lives are better. We hear that a lot of people who've taken action, their lives are better. So I think, generally speaking, we're absolutely on the right track. Um, and by the way, just so you know, don't worry. I love how some of you sort of step up in the comments and call out bullshit for bullshit sometimes. And I'm not about any kind of quarrels, but when people get really nasty, and some of you call that out and just go, "Hey, look in the mirror." Thank you for that. But I also want you to know that I have never lost any sleep. I got very thick skin. I'm also aware of the trolling and the bots and all that crap, but Um, if if I would be worried about what God knows how many people think about me and what they have, what image of me they have in their minds, I probably would not sleep. So I choose not to worry about that. I am who I am. I'm only responsible for what I say, not for what people hear. And I'm especially not responsible for the image of me that people create in their minds. I show up as who I am, truthfully, authentically. What you see is what you get. Everybody who met me outside of these screens knows that I'm exactly the same guy, often on the screen. Uh, that's what we bring to this: truth, authenticity, love, freedom. That's our mission. All right, my friends. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Ronnie, in the live chat, our wonderful moderator today. Christine's not here. And thank you for everything you are and you do, all of you. We love you. We appreciate you. And we will be back with you again very, very soon.
Listen, right now you could be only a few clicks away from experiencing something amazing, something that has changed thousands of lives all over the world. I'm talking about a high consciousness field similar to those at pilgrimage sites and sacred places. It's where people go to heal, to connect, and to become the best possible version of themselves. With FLFE, you can bring such a high consciousness field into your home right now. It's a spiritual quantum technology based on the work of Nikola Tesla. Better sleep, more energy, greater well-being, improved finances, electrosmog mitigation. These are only some of the things people on the FLFE service are experiencing. Try it now for 15 days completely free of charge, no credit card needed. Just click on a link down below to start your free, no strings attached FLFE trial right now.